I got engaged to a blind Duke. Episode 183. At that moment, stones came flying toward them once again. Ronny quickly covered Minnie's head. Bree, who was beside them, was startled and wrapped his arms around Minnie. In that instant, Rabbit took the stones head-on while protecting the children. No stones. Rabbit hurts, Minnie whispered softly, but her voice was faintly drowned out by the villagers' screams and shouts. Stones flew from all directions. Rabbit's white fur began to be stained with blue blood. Hurry up. Marin urged her horse with a desperate voice. As soon as she received Shadow Egg's report, she was riding her white horse toward the cabin. Her fingertips gripping the reins had gone ice cold, but her heart was burning in contrast. Behind her, Elmies and Al followed quickly on horseback. Gerald was away checking on the condition of the demon beast flower. In the distance, she could see people gathered in a semicircle around the cabin. The atmosphere seemed ready to explode at any moment, making Marin anxiously urge her horse to go faster. Nay. At the sudden horse's cry, people turned to look back. When Marin jumped down from her horse, all eyes focused on her. Who is that? Seeing her arrive on horseback, isn't she a noble? Marin, isn't that Marin? Why would Marin be wearing such an expensive dress? She just looks similar. When some villagers recognized her from when she pretended to be a commoner, Elmies, who had dismounted behind her, quickly shielded Marin from their gazes. We came from the Duke's castle. Please step aside. The Duke's castle? They say the Duke's castle. We're saved. Elmies's words, dressed in maid clothes, were futilely drowned out by the villagers' murmuring. People swarmed around Marin. Among the three who arrived on horseback, she clearly looked like the person of highest rank. People went to the Duke's castle just a while ago. Has contact already been made? When will the knights arrive? Our children are over there. That's a demon beast, right? Marin stood quietly without avoiding the people's piercing gazes. At her calm demeanor, the heated villagers closed their mouths and hesitantly stepped back. Just as Marin was about to take a step past them, a village woman rushed out and reached for Marin. Elmies quickly grabbed the village woman's hand. With her hand caught by Elmies, the village woman collapsed onto the ground with a thud. With a dazed face as if she had lost her mind, she pleaded desperately. Please, please save our Ronny and Minnie. That demon beast is trying to eat our children and has hidden them behind it. Sob, sob. The tears she shed fell and drew countless black dots on the dirt ground. At Marin's signal, Elmies released the village woman's hand. Marin looked with pitying eyes at the village woman who was crying while prostrated on the floor. Though they had never conversed, she had seen her in the village. She should have sent Rabbit back long ago, but her own attachment had caused this situation. Though her heart ached sharply, she didn't look away and watched the tears the village woman shed. The regret was hers to bear, and this village woman's tears were also her fault. Soon Marin raised her head and took a step forward. People naturally made way for her. As the crowd parted, Bunny could be seen standing in front of the cabin. Bunny had its fangs extended and was emanating a fierce aura. Behind Bunny, the shadows of squirming children could be glimpsed. Marin straightened her back and approached Bunny step by step. The people behind her screamed and shouted in alarm. It's dangerous. Kaya. Why is she going over there? Marin, who had walked right up to Bunny, met the Rabbit's silver eyes. Bunny's fiercely glinting eyes drooped downward. Rabbit, let the children go. Rabbit's long ears perked up as if listening to her words. Rabbit. When she urged again, Rabbit lowered its shoulders and stepped aside. Only then were the children behind Bunny revealed. Two young boys were holding a girl protectively. The children looked up at her with wide, startled eyes. Are you okay? When Marin asked worriedly, the red-haired young boy nodded vigorously. We're fine. When stones were flying, Rabbit took them instead of us. Rabbit protected us. The red-haired young boy showed the face of the girl he was protecting, as if to prove his words. The girl's forehead was slightly torn. Oh my, that must have hurt. Marin hurriedly took out her handkerchief and pressed it to the girl's forehead. I'm okay. Rabbit got hurt. The girl pointed at Bunny with an innocent face. Following the child's gesture, she could see blue blood staining Bunny's white fur in several places. Bunny had been protecting the children. Marin bit her lower lip and forcibly held back the tears that were about to come. She wanted to turn around immediately and tell them that Rabbit wasn't trying to eat the children but was protecting them. However, Bunny was a demon beast. Who would believe her words? If only Bunny hadn't settled here, none of this would have happened. The villagers misunderstanding and throwing stones, injuring a child. Bunny getting hurt trying to protect those children. It was all her fault. Though Marin's heart was collapsing with belated regret, she tensed her legs to keep from crumbling. Since this happened because of her choice, she had to resolve it herself. Rabbit. Marin gently called to Rabbit standing beside her. Rabbit perked up its ears and listened to her words. Its long fangs had already returned to their original form. Rabbit, I'm sorry. Perhaps sensing the tears in her voice, Rabbit's silver eyes stared intently at her. Meeting those clear eyes, Marin deliberately pulled up the corners of her mouth to smile. She didn't want to show a crying face when saying her final goodbye to Rabbit. Rabbit, I'm sorry. Sister wanted to stay with you until the end. Marin couldn't finish her words and bit her pink lips. The words "you have to leave" stuck in her throat and wouldn't come out. No, she didn't want to say them. She wanted to continue being with Rabbit. Finally, tears flowed down her cheeks. She wanted to show the Rabbit a smile. She didn't want to cry. The Rabbit seemed to know it had to leave, drooping its round eyes weakly. The Rabbit let its shoulders sag and turned its head to the side, turning away from her. Marin watched this scene while holding her aching heart. Right now, did that demon beast understand what the noble said? The demon beast's fangs shrunk at that person's words. My goodness. There's someone who can talk with demon beasts? The villagers who had been watching the situation murmured among themselves. Ronny, Minnie. The village woman who couldn't come closer shouted desperately from behind. Marin forced back her tears and turned her gaze to the children. Mom seems to be waiting, shall we go now? But I don't see Joseph. Joseph? Bunny, who had been drooping its head weakly, sniffed with its nose, then suddenly extended its fangs long again. Grrrr, Rabbit? It was when Marin was looking at the Rabbit questioningly due to Bunny's sudden change. Aya. A child's sharp scream was heard from behind the cabin. Bunny quickly ran behind the cabin. Alan Elmies followed behind it. Marin took off the bracelet she was wearing on her wrist and quickly made a 3-section staff sword, then hid the children behind her back. Quickly go to your parents, but her words couldn't continue to the end. In her line of sight, she saw a gray pack rapidly approaching. Dozens of gray wolves had come down from the mountain and were surrounding the villagers.